With that, we're going to move over to the Dirty Dogs. What are the Dirty Dogs? If you're listening to the show for the first time, the Dirty Dogs are 10-point underdogs. CD and I pick every single week, 2 each. We do a little bit of draft. This week I'm going to pick first because I've had the most recent Dirty Dog hit. On the season, we're 11-41, which sounds like a terrible record, but if you were to bet our 10-point, basically straight up money lines on the whole season, you'd be up 2 units at least, so 2.1 units. So we're not doing bad. All right, and as the season's gone along, right, there are, should I say, sharper lines, right? So it gets tougher to pick these, right? But now we're in rivalry weekend. You throw all that stuff out the window, there is plenty of opportunity here for stuff to happen. I'm going to stick in the Power 5 here with my first pick. Give me Auburn plus 380 in the Iron Bowl. Alabama has never beaten Auburn in Tuscaloosa without Nick Saban. I believe that's the stat because I'm pretty sure they used to play that game in Birmingham. I hope that whoever that guy on Twitter was, stat was correct. But if it's not, then I'm just going to look like a bozo. But either way, that's not why, right? I think Auburn has a lot more to play for right now. I think Auburn is dangerous when they're not turning the football over. I think Auburn is a very good football team. They're going to be able to run the football on Alabama, okay? They're going to be able to match up physically with Alabama. Now, Peyton Thorne just can't make crazy mistakes, but Hugh Freeze also is a guy that just loves getting up for the big one. And I know this isn't Nick Saban. Hugh Freeze has Nick Saban's number. I don't know that he has Kane Womack's number. I don't know how many times that they've ever, if at all, played against each other. But, yeah, I'll take Hugh Freeze's Tigers at plus 380 here in the Iron Bowl.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I mean, there's a reason why we didn't preview this game, and I think part of it is Alabama losing, Auburn, whatever. But also, I have no idea what's going to happen in this game. Like, I couldn't even tell you, and it's hard to give you some great analysis here because realistically, I don't know what's going to happen. And to be honest, as a Dirty Dog, I don't think Bama should be favored by 11.5 points. Can they win by double digits? Absolutely. They absolutely can't. They play their best football. If Auburn stinks it up, for sure. At home, definitely. However, we've seen time and time again in some of these games here. I don't hate it. That would have been my second pick here. So I don't hate that for you. My first one, though, give me Kennesaw State. Give me the Owls plus 385 over Louisiana Tech. Louisiana Tech should not be favored by 12.5 points in this game. I feel like I'm getting pretty solid value here. Listen, it's not about Kennesaw State being great. Yes, they just beat FIU. That was an awesome win, right? But I think in a game where it's probably going to be lower scoring, right? Maybe in the 20 or like the mid-teens, right? Low 20s. I just think that favors an upset, and I think the Kennesaw State team can score enough points and stop Louisiana Tech enough and get a win on the road here. That would be awesome with the new coach. I think we saw the firing happen, and we've seen Kennesaw play much better football as of late since that happened, which, you know, whether he should have gotten fired or not, who knows, but regardless, I do think it's interesting to watch, and this could be a spot where you get some value here at plus 385.
Yeah, I like it. The reason why I kind of stayed away from that, and I thought about it, was just because Louisiana Tech's run defense in the CUSA has been pretty solid. I think Kennesaw State relies on that a lot, keeping the ball in their hands and, trying to milk that clock and make those games, one-possession games and limit the opponent having the football and giving your team a chance to win late in the game, in those one-possession football games. I just don't know if that's going to happen or not, right? So that's why I kind of stayed away from it. But I don't hate the play. Plus 385, come on. My second pick, give me Syracuse plus 330. The Orange hosting Miami. Why do I like Syracuse in this spot? Well, I think Syracuse has the talent on offense to put up points. This Miami defense has been pretty disappointing, okay, to say the least. I think Miami could definitely be in a situation where they do blow out Syracuse, and I think Miami's offense will put up points against Syracuse. But in a shootout game, if you're asking me, what can happen, what are the variables of outcomes in the, I don't know what the stadium's called now, but I'm just going to call it the Carrier Dome because it'll always be the Carrier Dome to me. Weird stuff happens there, man. Weird stuff happens. Feels like that line is probably appropriate, like from a power ratings perspective, but weird stuff happens there. And also Syracuse, mean, they're going to get up for this game, man. Miami, they know what's at stake too, right? Miami knows that they lose, right? Clemson will get in over them to the ACC championship game, but I just kind of like Syracuse here in this spot, plus 330. Give me Kyle McCord and the Fighting Orange against the Hurricanes.
I don't hate that. That would be crazy. That would send shockwaves throughout the ACC. That would bump Clemson up into the ACC championship game, potentially playing against SMU. I would think against SMU. Yeah, because they're undefeated. So regardless, they would be a massive, massive story. And Syracuse, by the way, they're 8-3. Is that right? The Syracuse Orange, first year head coach, they are 8-3. That is awesome. What a story they have been. Obviously, they have some tough losses, but also some good wins. We knew their schedule was going to be pretty easy. Regardless, though, it's been impressive. I think you got to be excited about what you're seeing there in Fran Brown. I'm going to go to the SEC here. I'm going to go to Nashville. Give me Vanderbilt over the Tennessee Volunteers. I believe it's going to be plus 350. Yeah, listen, I think what you're going to find some margins here. I know Tennessee has been a good defensive team all year, but also I just think Vanderbilt, like you get a Diego Pavia type game. I think you get a spot where you scheme up things open. You know, Vanderbilt with a chance to win 7 football games, first time in a while. I think red zone conversions, Tennessee has been terrible. I mean, just terrible. Vanderbilt's very, very good. I know defensively, Tennessee's very good in the red zone. However, I think sometimes good offense does beat good defense, and that's where you see a spot here. Plus, with what the scheming and what they can do, Tim Beck and Jerry Kill, what they can do, offensively, and get Diego Pavia in good spots there. Yeah, Vanderbilt plus 350. Also, I just think, I know I've picked against Tennessee in these Dirty Dogs before. I just don't know if they have the horses if they don't play well offensively. Like, I know they can just hand the ball off to Dylan Sampson, 40 times, and maybe they do, maybe they don't. But I also think that could be a spot where you do see, although Vanderbilt is, not bad against the run. So that could be a spot where you do see some value. That's where I like it. Vanderbilt plus 350.
Yeah, in Nashville, I mean, things could get stinky over there. Things could definitely get stinky over there. I don't think Tennessee fans should just, chalk that one up as a win, and then say, oh, we're in the college football playoffs with 2 losses or whatever. That one could get stinky. But there's a lot on the line, I think, I would say for both teams. I mean, this is potentially Diego Pavia's, last SEC game ever? Don't count that guy out. But also Tennessee's playing for the college football playoffs. So I think both teams are going to get up for this game in interstate, I guess, rivalry in the situation. So, but Vanderbilt, this is like the one year that I think Vanderbilt has the horses to potentially get Tennessee. So I think that's going to motivate them a lot. And I think they know it in that building that they can get them. So I like that one.